Good morning, everyone. I'll check the chat. How's everyone doing? Let's see what we get today, because I just checked the chart and we have like a big down gap to the downside. So I don't know how it is. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Anubis. Good morning, Che. Yep. Let's see what we get. How was the weekend for everyone? First of all, before we go and check this most likely horrible price action for this London session. Yeah, it's like 2 p.m. right here in Taiwan. Um, Shubham, I think it has to be like if you go on Propfirm compare, it has to be a contact like page where you can like send anything, to be honest. So yeah, I think your best shot would be to send like the form, and someone from Propfirm compare is gonna check it out, most likely. Okay, let's go over real quick um, on what I see right now. Let me just check the daily chart first. But I'm okay. Daily chart, daily fair value gap here. FVG here. Besides this, obviously we have this big gap um, that happened overnight. It is what it is. Trump doing Trump weekend things. One more. Let's go to the 4 hour. I was leaning really bullish from around this area here. If you guys remember, like around this area here, I was feeling really bullish and I was aiming for these highs here. The move is still possible, but every time you have news, it's hard to keep going with your idea. And usually the idea is hard to remain the same week after week. Obviously with the news popping in every weekend, but it is what it is. Uh, we tapped into this fair value gap on the daily. Mm, Not too sure. I think today, like Monday, is not going to be like the day where you can form a bias for the week, most likely. Um, I still can see this fair value gap on the daily holding if the news don't go like on the war side um, this week. So I think for today, I'm gonna remain somewhat bullish or neutral and just get whatever the market gives me, and that makes sense inside the daily like range for me to play. Uh, yeah, in Shubham, if you have Discord and you're inside the Profit Compare Discord, uh, and if not, join and send me your user ID, and I'm gonna like check it later if you want, so I can check you on there. 4 hour, pretty much the same thing. We have a big gap here to the upside now that we are tapping into after the weekly gap. To be honest, I would really like to beat this one, like this low over here, to be, let me go on the 1 hour, because the 4 hour is not clear enough. I wouldn't mind if this is like the low of the week here, and then we keep moving higher, you know? That wouldn't like be a bad thing, I guess. And filling the gap and still going for my initial draw on liquidity for the daily. 15-minute chart, hard to tell. whether we are going up or down. Again, I would really like to see this gap gone. Let me check ES real quick to see where we are. Yes, looks like a little bit. No, they're in the same page pretty much. So there's nothing here. Let me check. Yeah, my key just looks a little bit better, like when it comes to the bullish bias. Mm. Then 5 minute, what would I like to see? I wouldn't mind a short to then go long, like something like this. Then like we take liquidity, like me. Bear with me because I'm on my MacBook right now. I'm not used to it. Um, but yeah, like something like this at 3 a.m., sweep the highs and then go lower, tap into midnight, and then move higher. So lower for higher. I wouldn't I wouldn't dislike this. Something like this would be perfect, in my opinion. Long 4 minutes for 3 a.m. So let's see what we get. I hope we don't get just like a move up and then grinding, and then nothing. I mean, nothing that is there for me to consider taking. That would be a shame. Mhm. Call this high. Let's check yes in case we have an SMT there. No way. But we could form one. Say go to the 1 minute because most likely I want to take something on the 1 minute, on the five. Okay, 3 a.m. open. Now the ideal scenario would be that we just go lower from this high being taken. That would be perfect. I'm on mute. You can hear me. Yeah, with SMT, obviously, yeah, we have SMT on ES. That's one of the things that I mentioned before, that we could form an SMT here. No, trading view doing its thing and lagging out. SMT on, true. It was a tight SMT if it happened. Okay, just give me a second. That. Okay. Bear with me, guys. Just 1 second. I needed to log in into my trading account. I think the Discord link is just like discord.com/Propfirm compare. Let me just check it for you. Propfirm compare. Like certain. Yeah, it should be that one. If not, like check Propfirm compare on X, like on socials. You're gonna find it for sure. Five minutes. Go back to the 4 hour. Like again, to the it's hard because we don't have any point of interest to the downside. For us to use, it has to be just like a liquidity sweep and then going lower if I really want to get into a short here. And then if I had to use a breakage, it would be something like this, and like this. Let's see if we can move lower. Morning, Lester. What are we doing? Let me check news if we have news this week or something. Calendar. Today we don't have any. We have tomorrow PPI at 8:30. Yeah, no. The robot. The idea was that that the new week opening gap is filled. Like that's my idea. I really want to keep things like the same way as last week. We tapped into a daily fair value gap right now by the drop at overnight, and 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 I would like to see the gap being filled. My idea was that I wouldn't dislike push down like short move to then get a long move, aiming for midnight. Like this low right here is the low at midnight. So something like this going lower, then tapping into midnight to then run higher and possibly filling the weekly gap. That would be my best scenario with the thing that I prefer to happen. That would be nice. It's gonna happen, I don't know. I just checked that we have here a 15-minute gap. And another possibility that I'm curious about is like we can go tap into this 15-minute gap, and if it really wants to uh move higher from here would be like a great area where we can run from. Execution time frame is usually 1 minute, between 1 minute and 5 minutes. That's my preferred execution time frame. Then there's different scenarios where I would execute on even lower time frames, like 30 seconds, sometimes 15 seconds, but it has to be something like, I don't know, extremely rare where I execute in those time frames. And then sometimes on the 15-minute. But price action right now, it's not the best to execute on the 15-minute because since we don't have like continuations at all. Like we don't have a clear direction at open, and then we follow that direction for the whole session. And instead, what we have is like I move down, then I move lower, taking a low, then I move up, taking a high. Like that, we don't have like directional movements. I think trading on the higher time frame, if we can call 15-minute as a higher time frame, it's not the best for me right now. You texted me. You texted me. Where Propfirm compare? Gotcha. Perfect. I'm gonna later after the stream, I'm gonna send you a DM if you don't mind, and let's see if you can show us something. Obviously, like by no means I'm gonna be able to do anything. Like I'm part of Propfirm Compare, but I'm not like um someone that can decide something like this. But so far the reaction from here, like this drop here, I like it. I just really need to see continuation. I don't want to see price the stall here. I really want to see this move happen through this breaker block fast enough for me to be convinced to take on taking this trade. Let me check the 15-minute gap and see how this fits into my trade. It will be something like this. Then looking for 2R. That would be the trade if I go want to know this. Basically the same idea. You just got it on the 1 minute inverse. Fair enough. So at around close to 1 hour, we're gonna like if this trade plays out close to 1 hour, we're gonna tap into the 15-minute gap. So we have to be aware of this. For now, I'm just gonna get rid of the short position. I don't want to induce anyone to taking this before we have a confirmation. You're welcome, Shubham. Yes, real quick. the same spot. Four-hour, 4 hour. Instead of marking the low, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark out midnight, and that's it. Because I don't think I'm gonna hold this trade into there, and I think midnight's gonna be the one um, making price bounce if we even get lower here. See that this is one of the things that I didn't want to see happening. Like these three candles here, that would be perfect if they closed. If they were like downside candles going through the breaker. I mean, it doesn't mean that we cannot have this set of form, but when I'm looking into a breaker, what I want to like see is that price gets through the breaker as quick as possible, basically. Hmm. 5 minute, did we tap into 5 minute gap? We did. Let me check the stop map real quick and see where we are, but I'm pretty sure we are like super low on it, like below even the distribution. Okay. Okay, we are pop minus manipulation. Makes sense. Mhm, 3 minute, 4 minute. Let's see if we get the close through the breaker now. Still holding. It be okay. I was checking on news before I stopped. We have PPI Tuesday, and then employment change. No, that's not it. We just have PPI Tuesday, and I don't know why it's showing unemployment claims as a as an orange on Thursday. That's weird. Whoa, this is really slow. Check other assets real quick. Not because I want to take something else. I'm just curious to see how crude oil go into crude. The minute. Okay, gold. So pretty much filling the gap all very crazy. Mhm. There it goes, NQ looking for more. The thing is, we didn't even tap into the 15-minute gap here. Like, just going higher for now. I was already expecting something like this for today, if I'm being honest. Like, I was not expecting like super clean price action, a lot of movement. I mean, I wouldn't say it is ugly price action. It's been moving decent. The thing is that with the big gap over there to the upside, it's just hard to find something from here. Mm, good morning, brother. Yeah, I'm settled. Like I got here, like I I took a flight on Thursday last week, like past Thursday. I got in Bangkok, spent the night there. Then I got a flight to another city called Chumpon. Then by plane again, and then there in Chumpon, like I slept there for another night, and then the next day I took a boat that got me to Koh Tao. And then the first day, I had booked like a house because like the housing thing here is just crazy. It's super hard to find something decent if you want to stay quote unquote long term for at least a couple months, 3 months. You cannot pay like the rates as a tourist because you're gonna pay like I don't know 10 grand or more a month for like something super basic. So usually what people do is they come here. I mean, I'm a tourist, so I cannot say anything about this, but it is what it is. The thing is that people just come here with like a couple, 3 nights booked in advance, and then they start looking around for housing with like decent prices. And that's what I did. Like we did because I came here with 2 other friends. And I had like a couple nights or 3 nights booked in advance. And the first day we got a few bikes, like a couple bikes to move around. And then we found like I think we were pretty lucky. We found like a small villa with 2 rooms, and then a small, like in the same area, like private room for another of the guys that's with us. So I would say we are pretty decently settled here. Today is Shukran, if I'm not wrong. That's the New Year's, like Thailand's New Year. So everyone's at the street shooting with water guns to each other. Ooh, where are you staying in Spain? Yeah, like so far it's just a great experience. Yeah, Malaga for the base is a really nice choice. You're gonna enjoy it, I can tell you. Okay, let's see if we get a closure below here. And I'm gonna set the position right here. We're gonna go straight to the 15-minute gap, and that's something that I don't like because we're gonna have a bounce there. Like not a bounce, but we can find support obviously on the 15-minute gap, or we can just go straight to Tuar without giving me an entry. That's also one possibility. Let me check the 5 minute and see if I have to take it on the 5 minute somehow. Just so sad. I'm happy for who was it that was like from. Thank you, thank you. Who was it that was short already on the 1 minute? Anubis was. So GG Anubis for sure. I think it made sense. Like we can still play it out on a different time frame. Like for example, the 3 minute, we can use this 3 minute breaker, even though I don't usually do it. Let's completely get rid of this. Yeah, the time is weird because right now it's just 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. at London session, and then New York session is just late at night, around 10 p.m. So it's kind of in the middle, in between, like when you have to eat, like when you have to have lunch or dinner. So it's a bit weird. Like right now, everyone's at the streets, like enjoying the sugar and thing. Uh, so after the stream, I'm gonna go out. We play the 3 minute. I don't know if we get a closure. So sad because I think that the play was there, the trade was there. I don't usually use the 3 minute, but I don't want to like definitely I don't want to use the 5 minute. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I really, to be honest, I really like the idea of getting a short here. We got a closure below the minus manipulation line. This line over here is the stop up, so we are getting back into exactly this is a perfect AMD accumulation, manipulation, and now the distribution. And I think like the best for me here is that this manipulation leg to the upside happened right at 3 a.m. Like that's the key thing for me. It's the time when this thing happened. The 15 minute is gonna close inside the 15-minute gap. Um, so I want to see how this 15-minute closes before getting into anything. To see we have big reaction here. And see that was also another a scenario where that I was like trying to be aware of where we just dipped into the 15-minute gap and then react from it and keep going higher. Thing is, I want to check, did we have 2R for the idea that I was looking at? Yeah, we did have 2R. We broke this 3 minute one. It's sad. It's sad because this candle over here could have had like a week to the upside and fill the position for lower. That would have been perfect. Yeah, completely a shame. Yeah. Now, the thing here for me is I think if we go higher from here, like above here, I I definitely gonna switch bias. I mean, it's not bad. It's just like again, when London doesn't want to move or just fuck around, it's gonna do it like super hard. But I would say, I mean, it is decent right now. You have to play it on a lower time frame because like it's again it doesn't follow through. And now my thoughts are I start pre 3 a.m. Like usually if I'm not running late or anything, usually we sometimes start 5, 10, 15 minutes before 3 a.m. and then just straight from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. So if 3 a.m. doesn't give us anything, um, we just wait for 4 a.m. That sometimes gives us a move. Again, if we get a culture above this high again, I think I'm gonna switch my bias, um, and I'm no longer gonna expect lower, like even more lower than what we have here, that we tap the 15-minute gap. And if we continue going lower, it's gonna be hard because I don't know what I want to use to get into the short. Is obviously checking on the 5, 3, 1 minute. All of my the 5 minute, it didn't, like, we have a 5 minute breaker here, but yeah, all of my breakers are completely invalid. Like all of them confirm, and then we are pretty much disrespecting them and going through all of them. So that would be hard to play if we now move lower. We check for S&Ts, we don't have any. Nothing. Hmm. I'm just trying to come up with a plan on if we keep going lower again, what I'm gonna do. Good morning, guys. Fair play, Ben. Like, I wouldn't mind getting longs, but I really want to see this high being taken and close through it to actually switching. Like, I would just love to see NQ go straight to midnight and then bounce from there and get a long here. That would be perfect. Like, I would get a fat long down here. Makes sense. I guess I'm like, if we keep going lower, I can still use the 3 minute. breaker here, even though we completely disrespected it and closed below and ran through it. I don't want to take the 5 minute, even though we didn't go to stop loss, just because see how this trade is just too big, at least for me. And I don't want to be here just waiting for this to play out. But let's see. I hope like the upside move continues. Oh, it's doing gold. Oil. Crude is it's bouncing, crude oil. And what is Q doing? Going lower. Yeah, that's true. I have to agree with you. It is choppy. It is really choppy. Choppy and slow. Let's see the 15 minute, 10 minute, 1 hour, and 4 hour. 1 hour can close as a possible swing. Fair enough. Like, if I was in your trade movies from this inverse value up here, my break even would have been here. And right at the low that formed the 15 minute gap. So I mean, I think you had to do and move this break even when we got to the 15 minute gap. Like it was something that I think you really had to do. Good morning, Anthony. How we doing? Obviously, I get your point in this. Uh, but we knew it was a possibility that we had like this move lower, like this move higher after getting into the 15 minute gap. Yep, yep. It's the weekend Trump effect. Everything happens on the weekend, so we can have an insane gap on Monday that is just impossible to trade. Yeah. It seems like Trump is only working on weekends because we have always the news on weekends. Let's see if we go for this high. Let's see if we go for this high. Good question. I'm going to read it for everyone. How do you know which highs lows are important in the market? It's just daily highs and lows. Sometimes 1 hour has lots of them and it can be hard to know if they're relevant and need to be run out. Um, Good question. I usually check for daily highs, daily lows. That's like a classic one. And then what I want to see, like for me, when I see, let me just check. I try to look for relative equal highs and lows where we have two or more lows close to them. Like, look at this. Imagine on the 1 minute. If I'm trying to play the short from this breaker over here, let's imagine that I wanted to play the short on this breaker. And I'm trying to come up with an idea of, okay, where I want to play break even or even get out. If I have to look down below here, I would see that I have one, two, three lows here that are completely smooth here. If I have to check like for another set of high for lows to aim for them would be these ones, one, two, three lows here that are completely stacked. So what I really like to look for is relative equal highs and lows, where it makes sense that price want to run like towards this low instead of just one random low along the price action. And then if I want to then if I'm looking on the higher time frame, it makes sense to look for swing highs and swing lows. Like for example, let's see if we can get one here in the 1 hour. This price action is extremely crazy. Like here, you can see we have this on the 1 hour, we have a bunch of stacked lows here, being this one the first. So one, two, three, four. We have 4 hour lows right here that they are all around the same area. So it makes sense that having all of these lows here, if we happen to go lower, price would want to get to this all of these lows. Because with the same movement, you just get all of these lows here. And also, as same as here, the lows and the highs that have like the top, like that the fair value gap on them are also important. Let's see how this 237 low was the low of the week for the 15-minute gap right here. So in this, you're just checking out the 15-minute, but like you can use this also, like checking for the structure that forms the fair value gaps for you to, like if you were like in a short from above here on the 1 minute here and here, you could have like, instead of just trying to see price go through the fair value gap, you can just aim for the low of the week that forms the fair value gap and get out. And also one more thing when it comes to highs and lows, um, session highs and lows, I would say. Like if you have an Asia high, Asia low, London high, London low, uh, and you can find the same example that I just gave you around here. Imagine this is like all of these lows here. Like it's clear that I'm on the 1 minute, but imagine we are not. Imagine that this aligns that these lows are Asia low. this is for me like it's an insane draw on liquidity. Is having these stacked lows here that happen to be Asia lows is like perfect draw on liquidity for me. Yeah, no follow through the upside move. Mm-mm-mm. We're going back to the 15-minute gap here. Um, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Do I want to short it? Do I want to just see and wait if we bounce from it again? Um, Good question. I think it. I think just Asia low is gonna be enough. To be honest, that's my maximum expectation when I'm looking for. Like if I'm aiming for the high or low, like targeting the exact high or low on the Asia or London session is like the play for me. Doesn't mean like if you do that the opposite, it's gonna be wrong. I just found that this way is just way better for me. Like the same way when I talk about the smooth edges, like when we have this sort of formations, like the smooth edges thing, where it's pretty much the same thing that I just told you that I'm looking for stacked and close, right, relative equal highs and lows. Like when we have this, like we have these three highs super close to each other. If I were to take a position from lower, my what I try to look for is that my take profit is not the exact same higher high like the first one. I really want to see that my tour fits in between the move that market needs to do to get there. And even if I can, like, even if it fits on my tour, like I prefer to just be out, for example, on the first or 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 the second high. But my maximum expectation will be this high here. But if my trade fits in between this move, my tour trade fits in between this move, I'm gonna be happy with taking anything in between here. Because sometimes price just does this. Like we run here, we take the first high, then we get a pullback, does this, like, and then we finally go. I don't want to be inside of this, like back and forth, taking highs and pullbacks, and then going for my final take profit. Well, I am, yeah, to be honest, all I'm looking for here on Q is just to push lower into midnight and then higher during New York. That's all I'm looking for. Like it's not that I'm sort biased right now. On the higher time frame, I think we go higher. What bothers me most here is that if we now get the move lower into midnight, it's just hard for me to get into the short because like all of these breakers that I would have used, like the only one remaining here and holding is the 5 minute because we didn't. Oh no, we did get into the high. No, we didn't. We didn't. We didn't reach into the high of the breaker or the 5 minute. Yeah, yeah, makes sense. So as I was saying, like all of the things breakers that I would have used for me to get into the short are pretty much invalid now. Uh, the only one remaining is the 5 minute. How long? Okay, we are 7 minutes away. Yeah, until 4 a.m. So maybe 4 a.m. is the one that gives us the move lower, actually. Mm, 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 mm. I mean, good thing we didn't take a loss trying to short this. And we remained patient. So to go short right now, if I wanted to get a continuation, I would really need to have like a 15-minute gap to the downside. Like imagine that we somehow form a fair value gap here. Um, and then we go lower like this, and then we continue going lower, and I can get a continuation breaker out of this liquidity sweep that happens when we tap into the newly created fair value gap into the downside. That would be the only way for me. Um, I guess the only way for me to get into a short position. But for this to happen, like this 15-minute candle has to close real low, then the next one has to close, form the fair value gap, tap into it, like trade into the fair value gap, go lower. And to be honest, being 4 a.m. right now, like I'm not an IFBG trader. Like if you're usually trading in very fair value gaps, you could do this. The only thing is, I don't know where you would like place your stop loss here. Like if you use this as investor value gap, um, get rid of this, get rid of this here. Like what do you do? You place your entry here. Obviously, in the high, you're not gonna. like place it, because otherwise, like you're aiming for extremely lower in a long trade. You should like maybe place it under the last high formed here, and what aim for this low maybe to get a twar. I don't know. Like I guess if you wanted to like get a short from this, it would have been like way higher here. Set the stop loss at the high, and then just aim for lower. But obviously, if you move to break even, you would be out. Okay, above the half, and you are the trade. So you don't have to stop. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Again, I'm not an IFBG trader, so I don't know the ins and outs of trading inverse value gaps. So far, this is still holding. We got a clean AMD here at 3 a.m. That was perfect of a move. And followed by this drop. That was pretty much perfect. But then um I usually trade, like the best session for me is obviously New York. I'm just, I don't know, I don't like to staying around that long, checking the charts for something to happen. I really want to form my bias in my direction quick and be and like see if I'm wrong or right quicker. I don't want to spend like 2 or 3 hours in front of the chart, um, exposing myself. So I would say New York. I don't hate London because London gives you like another, I don't know, peace of mind, because like it's not that fast, the volume is lower. I don't know. You can count it as a negative thing, the volume, but like being the volume being lower, like makes everything just way lower, and then when it needs to speed up, it speeds up because there's less volume. So as long like whenever we have big cells, the price just moves higher, lower or higher, faster. But New York for me and for my model is the best one. Okay, mixed cylinders. No, doesn't look like we are going anywhere. That's true. Let's just see 1 minute for 4 a.m. candle. Let's see just how this behaves, what it does, and what it doesn't. The 15-minute gap is still holding. That's the thing. Like, it's still holding. Yeah, I know, right? That's a good choice to not trade this. Okay, 6 seconds, 5 seconds for 4 a.m. Pushing higher. Like, I really think if we somehow break structure, we can go a bit higher. Now that the 15-minute seems like it's holding, the 1 hour completely closed as a possible swing. think this one, the C3. This could be liquidity sweep. Do we have something here? Wait, oh, that's a shame. Oh, wait, we do on this lows here. So this could be the breaker. And you could aim for this high, maybe. Something like this. How this trade looks. Not the best. It's just extremely like tight range. Not for me. Something. Look like we are going for this high. To be honest, after this move. Mm. We're going. 15-minute held completely. The fair value gap completely stopped price from going lower. Um, I just see we can take the high and move lower again. I don't know. Just if it keeps going higher from here, I don't think I'm gonna be interested in taking anything. Like the only thing that I could have like formed here was taking the long from here into the high, but it was giving me like a 1.5 R or something like this, the one that we marked out right now. 1.5, and I don't think it's worth it to take this with this kind of price action for just 1.5 R. That's why I said it wasn't for me. Did we form S&T here? No. Both yes, I think you took that one. We did the sweep. I still remember when we could trade London session with like on a 5 minute time frame or even the 15-minute, because we actually had follow through in price and we could like take long trades. Um, I've never tried to trade on CFD firms, so trading the NAS 100 chart, but I think it's pretty much the same. Like you're gonna be able to do this. The only issue I can I know I know people that trade NAS 100 on CFD firms. Um, Maybe because you are trading from TradingView and it's way quicker and easier to get into a trade using TradingView. And then the other way you have to like go into MetaTrader or whatever platform you're using and you have like it's different. I don't know. It feels different. Like the process of opening a position from another platform besides like TradingView, at least for me, or Tratovate, it's just different. I don't know why. And as I was saying, I know people that trade CFD firms and they trade Nasdaq in lower time frames. They don't have like issues at all. So I just think it's gonna be the same thing. But I've never tried it. Minute, 1 minute, nothing. Now if we move lower, somehow price decided to move lower and we got a closure below the 15 minute. Probably that's the breaker that I would have used or something like this with the same target as midnight open lower. Hmm. They're inverse value up here on the 1 minute, so minus IPG. You could do this, then A4. Midnight. I wouldn't dislike something like this, to be honest. I'm just actually thinking if I want to get into this inverse value gap here in the 1 minute and try a short with lower risk, trying to get the final move towards midnight open. Or if I want to wait for the breaker to form here and take that one instead, but way lower. You just tap into inverse of our gap. What up, brother? How are you doing? Here we are, stuck into a great price action chart on a great Monday, trading NQ. Okay, we tapped into the inverse of our gap to the tick. Let's see if we can get a continuation lower. I'm gonna wait for the breaker down here. If it happens, let me check how many likes do we have in this stream. Okay, 23, not bad. Just a quick reminder to like the stream while nothing is happening. Yep, that's the idea. Let's go through the plan again. My plan here is that I wanted to get a short-term move to the downside during London session, tap into midnight, and move higher, and then completely fill the gap today. That's the main idea. What is stopping me? Nothing. Just the fact that I don't trade inverse value gaps. Like my setup is like the way I trade, like my model is super clear. Like we need the liquidity sweep and then the breaker. The break is gonna it's the one that's confirming like the breakup structure. Like here after this happens, like we are breaking the structure again, uh, and then going lower, you know. So it's just matter of the way I get into the market. With the inverse value gaps, true. I agreed. Um, and the fact that I don't usually use inverse value gaps, it doesn't give me the conviction that I usually have when I trade the way I always trade. So I will be getting into this inverse value gap, without like knowing if this is gonna like obviously you don't know if it's gonna play out when you get into position, but the conviction makes you think that it's gonna play out and that you're okay and you're comfortable with the trade. If I trade this inverse value gap, it's not my model. It's someone else's model that I somewhat kind of know how to do it and how to trade it, but I didn't have the previous conviction from trading the same way for 2 or 3 years that the breakers and the unicorns give me. That's why I didn't take it. Because like I'm not in a hurry to take any positions today, to be honest. We like I know this is like a trading stream and like a trading show, and 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 I'm the first one that I want you to enjoy it and be able to catch a position altogether and follow it through. But I think it's also important to like show what is it being a trader also. Just being here in front of a chart for 2 hours, passing on trades that you don't think they're worth it, and just sitting on your hands, um, for the sake of not like breaking your rules and losing money when you shouldn't be losing money. I think it's really important also. Like I could be taking any fucking trade for you to guys feel that I'm taking something and to entertain, but I prefer to just be this way and do it like the way I would do it, or I think anyone should do it. Like it was a clean one. Like we're tapping the inverse order cap, and now we're moving lower. At this low, I could just move break even if I was in this trade and let the rest play out if we really want to go below and tap into the midnight open. Yeah, like this, like imagine I use this as my breaker because these two are like the last downside candles and consecutive ones downside candles before the move that takes liquidity. If, for example, here, like let me go into the 30 seconds, like if this, where is it? Like this took the high, went lower, I would be inside this trade. Probably on even on the 30 seconds chart. I would be on this right here. My entry would be here. Like my entry would be here and my stop loss would be at the other side of the breaker. And same thing goes for for the bullish ones. Like bullish entry on the top, stop loss at the bottom. Bearish entry at the bottom, stop loss at the top. There's a few scenarios where I would place my stop loss above, below the highs instead of the breaker itself, but they are mostly exceptions and completely um, subjective decisions, I would say, depending on the moment. Yeah, then the price action is just insane. Minute, and we are reacting. We're tapping into this 5 minute gap, which is insane now. It is reacting to everything, but at the same time doing nothing. Yeah, and I don't think it's gonna happen like to be honest, anything. Uh check out my anyone has any question? that we want me to go over, because I don't think we're gonna hold the stream until 5, because like nothing's happening. Like most likely there's gonna be nothing here for me to take, so mm. What's gonna happen here, like that I've seen so far for the couple 3 weeks or a few more, that when I'm looking for a short during London session, and we have this where we take a high, then go lower, take another high, go lower, and we keep doing this for I don't know, for a few times, and then eventually randomly we just have the move lower, super hard to time, completely out of session. It sometimes happens. And I don't know why it's giving me vibes of the same thing, that we are now going to take this high, retrace, take the high again, retrace again, take the high again, and eventually out of nowhere we're going to have the move lower before New York session. Check CL here because it has to be doing the same weird thing as NQ. So, to be honest, like CL is kind of pushing, and NQ it's trying. Some of the two, like NQ or CL1, is lying about the direction. And I don't know why it's giving me the feel that NQ is the one lying or whatever. Gold kept going higher, trying to fill the gap, close to filling the gap. And crude oil looks like it wants higher. And then Q just doing nothing. Okay, guys, I'm thinking we're gonna wrap up the stream like in 5 minutes because nothing's gonna happen. I don't wanna hold like keep watching this price action when nothing's gonna happen clearly. Um, so I'm gonna ask for two things. One, give a like on this YouTube video. Do it for me, please, for staying here with you all, staring at this not moving chart. And second one, if you have any questions, just shoot them in chat. We're gonna go over all of the questions that you guys have, and if not, we're gonna wrap it up and see each other tomorrow. Because tomorrow I'm coming back for London session. This week I'm gonna be streaming London session all day, like yeah, from Monday to Friday, and probably Kane is gonna join. Do it for me. Do it for your favorite Spaniard. True, please. And Kane's gonna join probably, I don't know when, like which day, but some of the London streams we're gonna run it with Kane, so we can announce it on socials which day Kane's gonna join. But yeah, we're gonna see each other every day this week. Looks like we're gonna get into this high, and the same thing's gonna happen. We're gonna take the high, we're gonna have a retracement. We're not gonna go anywhere, not committing to any direction. Um, yeah, completely like situation where you wouldn't be willing to risk any money here, really. Zeus, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you hanging around here, even on an ugly day where NQ is not moving. Thank you so much. Ah, okay, boys. I think it's moment. We're gonna wrap up the stream. Nothing really happened this New York session, London session. We didn't have a chance to short the first initial idea that I had, because we didn't have like a confirmation, like a way to get into the trade. That's a shame. We had a quote unquote good read of the market, even though it didn't commit to any direction. So it was hard. It was hard to stare to this chart the whole morning, but it is what it is. Thank you so much for another day. Hope you liked it, even though we didn't have anything. I'm gonna see you guys again tomorrow, London session, and the rest of the week during London session. Appreciate you all so much. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.